G'day guys and welcome to another one of my Digimon ReArise videos. So it's that time again. It's actually been almost 2 months since we've made one of these videos, and that is Digimon coming to global video. This should be one of your resources that you use when you decide how to save and spend your Digirubies in the upcoming global releases. As always, remember global can absolutely shake this up, and this release order is how it was on JP, and it could be completely different on global. We just have to wait and see. As always, credit to Chordos2 for all of the images and translations, and you can get access to this database at the website. Check the description. So let's have a look at what is coming up. We've already had these two guys release here, so Ulforce X and Valdemon. Ulforce X did release first on JP. Valdemon released first on global. The only thing that we're missing, I believe, is the Blue Alter S, who should have released before Ulforce X. He is, like, okay. He's a hard hitter if you get a crit. But other than that, he's not, like, too ridiculous. And he's on one of those, like, kind of trappy Omegatchas, so he's good. Like, he's a really hard hitter, but he's not fantastic. After Valdemon, I'm expecting the Blue Heavy Leomon to drop. This guy's a little bit underrated. He's not mega top tier, but he's pretty good. He does give Fade protection, which is pretty good to blue and purple allies, and a shield and some status abnormality there, and he can hit quite hard as well with a bit of defensive utility. He's got a cool animation as well. After Blue Heavy Leomon comes lovely Angemon. This Digimon is kind of a meta changer. Her main skill is, no, it must be her sub skill, is kind of what deals with the evasion meta a little bit. She's the first Digimon that can clear stacks of evasion. Doesn't matter how many you have. If you have 8 stacks of evasion on your Fanglongmon, pop this sub-skill, all gone, plus it does damage as well. It's only a small amount of damage, but it's all enemies, so pretty much just wipes the enemy's evasion and gives a power damage reduction, and then you can hit really, really hard with her main skill, 1500% multiplier, plus it clears a few status ailments, including Death Mark. So genuinely a pretty powerful Digimon there. Don't have it, went hard, didn't get it, don't want to talk about it. Moving on, Triceramon drops in a ticket banner. He is genuinely good for a, what level is he? Must be a champion, ultimate. He has protection against all damage over time and fade forever, plus a cover. So basically, you have to take him out, and crit immunity to himself. So basically, you have to take him out with raw power. He's really good, a nifty Digimon to have, especially at ultimate level. Obviously, he's not going to be crazy bonkers, but he's pretty good. These guys have already been added. This is when the Battle Park update dropped on JP. So you can see we got it a little bit early. And this whole thing that we're looking at is probably about 2.5 months worth of content. The Shoutmon DFQ should come, even though we're still missing a few DFQs on global, SDQs as they're called on global. Shoutmon should drop at the same time as the next step up banner, which is Omega Shoutmon. Again, an ultimate level Digimon, which is cool, and the Yellow Sukuyavon. On JP, Yellow Sukuyavon was guaranteed. Who knows how that'll go on global. They switched it around with the Bancho banner. They could do it again. Omega Shoutmon is genuinely one of the best Clash Battle Digimon in the entire game. 2600 damage multiplier, plus crit rate, plus power stacking. He is bonkers. He also gives cooldown reduction to red. Believe he's the first to do that specifically for red. And he deals extra damage to purple enemies. So when you combine this, the huge multiplier with the power stacking with the crit rate, he is genuinely one of the best Clash Battle Digimon in the game. The Sukuyavon Yellow is genuinely one of the best tanks in the game. She has 2 one turn, what are they called? Super covers, cover abilities on both her main and her sub skill, which makes her super annoying to deal with. 70% damage reduction, plus giving herself a shield, plus defense, minus tech and power. She is a defensive powerhouse. And I know a lot of people avoid yellow Sukuyavons in PvP just because of how much extra time she makes the battles go for. So this step up here is definitely worth jumping into if you have some Digirubies. Following after that, there was kind of a weird release where they released a new Imperial Digimon Paladin mode, the purple version. I did just recently pull this guy on JP with another banner. Haven't had a chance to test him out. He's okay. He hits multiple times. He hits hard with crit. He has a bit of evasion. He's got a bit of shield. He's got a bit of everything. He's kind of a jack of all trades. Nothing standout, but still good. Like he's a good Digimon. If you love Paladin mode, definitely could look at that. But following straight after him, Jess Mon X. I managed to pick this guy up when he first came to JP, and I have been loving him. I found that you need to limit break him a little bit to make the most use of him because he's a tad squishy off the bat, but he does build up really, really strong, and I think he's still one of the best partner Digimon that you can have. He has multi-hit, X antibody, huge multiplier on that multi-hit, stacks power for all yellow allies, a buff shortener with poison, and status abnormality resistance reduction for the enemies, plus to top all that off, yellow cooldown reduction. This guy does a lot. He is a beast in Clash Battle. He is a beast as a partner Digimon. He is probably one of the best Underworld Dungeon Digimon as well. And he's not too shabby in PvP as well. So definitely someone to look out for. And I do have a full gameplay showcase for this guy. Straight after this, we have Omegamon X Antibody. Now, don't get too hyped. This guy kind of fell a bit short in his kit. He's still good, and I also have a showcase of this guy. I do use him occasionally as well because he's fast with his plugins. He has a 5-turn debuff with Poison and a single target evasion reduction skill as his sub skill. He also reduces his own cooldowns and gives himself some damage limiter. His main gimmick is he has this 20% chance to deal 12 times damage, a super crit. It is all enemies. When it goes off, it hits really hard, but it's really RNG based, not too reliable. This guy kind of fell a bit short. He's still actually quite good, and I think he cops a bit more flack than he should, but he's not mega top tier. There's another banner that drops to do with the Matadormon event, the Clash Battle event, and that's Gran Drachmann. This guy, I actually reckon, is underrated. He's got multi-hit 3 enemies at a time, bypasses damage limiters, and chance to fade. Plus, he gives all allies a stack of evasion. That's just his main skill. He's also got a 5-turn debuff with blindness. And he has defense reduction and cooldown reduction, plus more evasion for your team. So if you're still hanging in there with the evasion meta, this guy's quite good, and that fade multi-hit is genuinely strong, like really good. Underrated, I think, and a pretty good Digimon. Another Omegacha, and that is the Omegamon MM Merciful Mode, the green version. This guy is the green crit protection dude. He's really green support. He hits kind of hard with his main skill and pierces shields, which is, I think he's made to like counter Jess Mon X. He, as I said, nullifies crits, and he targets yellow Digimon. So he's really a Jess Mon X counter. He also has a damage limiter, a bit of HP recovery, and evasion. Like, he's okay. Like all Omegamons and Omegachas, you can live without them, but they're cool if you have them. After that is the Shine Greymon Burst Mode purple version, the deft version. Again, I reckon this guy's a tad underrated, guys. He has critical protection for purple allies. This guy has critical protection for green allies, and I think there was another critical protection Digimon that dropped as well. So definitely they're going for a bit of crit protection stuff. So that automatically makes him pretty good. He also is a blue killer with power buff to all allies. Huge damage multiplier with evasion removal on his main skill. He's genuinely a good Digimon. Like, he's not bad. He's underrated, I think. Sometimes you come up against this guy in PvP and he just like one-shots a few Digimon. You're like, whoa, where did that come from? And that I'm a big fan of crit protection, so definitely something to look out for. Finally, this is probably 2 months down the line, maybe 2.5 months. This trio of releases kicks off the new EX meta, the new type of Digimon. You might have heard about this circulating a little bit in the community. Pretty much after these guys, every single release is going to be a super type Digimon. So Shine Greymon Burst Mode, if I'm not mistaken, will be the last kind of regular Digimon for a while. War Greymon Super Brave, Metal Garurumon Super Brave, and Gaiamon Super Brave all drop in the same banner. Don't get sucked in, I would say, to these guys. The hype around Super Digimon will be really, really strong, but there's way more powerful Super Personality Digimons releasing straight after these guys. If you have questions about Super Personality and everything, I do have a video explaining everything. Just to summarize that, basically you can put up to 3 dupes into these guys to get them to 4 stars and make them even more powerful. And they have crazy stats and a third skill called an EX skill, which always bypasses evasion and damage limiters and normally has a really high multiplier on it as well. So like this one has a 1800% multiplier on it. They do always have a massive cooldown, nearly 1,000 seconds cooldown, so you can normally only use them once per battle. So they drop pretty late there. I would say for these guys, like, do the missions to get the Digi Diamonds, and save for some of the upcoming releases after that. So just a quick blast through what we've had a look at now. This is going to be my roadmap, and I'll kind of give you what I think personally is the best value roadmap for that. If you haven't already, Valdemon is definitely a solid choice. I wouldn't recommend going in on the Omegacha if you're strapped for Digirubies. Lovely Angemon is really solid, and you can set yourself up with that evasion clear into something like a Triceramon anniversary main skill. You'll be smashing through the evasion meta with Lovely Angemon. She's definitely solid. This guy's ticket banner. These are battle parks. You don't need to worry about them. I would definitely recommend going into this step up with Omega Shoutmon and Sukuyavon Yellow. Simply because they're both really solid. Even if you just go for the guaranteed and pull out, definitely worth investing a couple of Digirubies into that one. Unfortunately, Paladin mode, I would say, is a skip. Jess Mon X is really powerful. Even if you don't want to use him for PvP, Clash Battle and Underworld Dungeon, he really helps out a lot. It pains me to say Omegamon X is probably a skip. Gran Drachmann is good. You could probably skip him as well, unless you want those extra bonus points for the event. He's good. He's not required though. Again, skip the Omegacha. Could go in for the Shine Greymon. He's definitely solid. And coming into the EX meta, definitely, I'd recommend skipping all 3 of these, even though they're in the same banner, and saving for some upcoming EX releases after that. So it looks like it's pretty hectic for a while, but you do have a little bit of a chance to save coming up after that, because it gets pretty crazy after these guys, but we'll save that for another video. I don't want to give you too much information at once. So again, this is about 2 months, 2.5 months. Oh, let's have a quick look exactly how much it is. This was January 9th, and this guy released March 23, so it's 2.5 months worth of content here. So let me know down below, who are you summoning for? What is your roadmap? What are you going to go for, and how are you going to spend your Digirubies? Which Digimon are you most hyped for? Me personally, this step up and Jess Mon X are what I am looking out for. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know down below if I've missed anything as well. Hopefully I've got everything. Again, you can check all of this out for yourself in the more in-depth on the website in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!